I wonder sometimes the narratives we have inside of our own story. You know, how we relate to the world through this internal monologue or dialogue. Sometimes monologue. I know sometimes I have a lot of monologues with myself. Um, but in my brain, I've thought about that. I think about that quite often about what is my story, and that story changes day to day. Sometimes, not all the time, but definitely when you look at periods in your life, you can you can distinguish that maybe you had a one story where you were coming of age story, right? I think we all have a version of that and how that played out for us. And then another version, maybe you were an athlete, and it was about winning a championship. And others, maybe it was an insecure individual. Like I will say, part of when I was growing up, that I didn't I'll be honest, I lack self love, and I didn't feel great about who I was, and my story was pretty muted. And yeah, that's sad in a way. And then it took ebbs and flows, uh, life happening, and relating to the world as best as I can through my love of literature, writing, and stories, hearing them say, telling them, and just always having that movie play in my brain helped get me through a lot of difficult times. And I will say it even helped me, like, um, I, I did this journal work a long time ago, a few years ago, and I plucked in emotion, and it's like, how do I feel today, right? And then naturally, what happened is I was analyzing myself, and I wrote sort of my own monologue that was going on, and I stood back, and I didn't like the story I was telling about myself. So I chose to rewrite it, and then every day I did the same thing, and I did that for a better part of a year. And then every day I actually also added a word, a color, in the back of the journal, and this was the culmination of it, right? And for some reason, the color and everything, it gave me a perspective because I was able to get outside myself and understand the story I was telling about myself. And I was dedicated to changing that and really connecting to myself in such a way that was both authentic and positive for me. Um, and I fell even more in love with storytelling from there. And so as I think about it, it's like, if we were all to step back and look at ourselves, are we the hero? Are we the villain? Uh, are we in a drama, mystery? I mean, we can go on and on, but like when you really think about yourself, and if you had to throw yourself up on a screen and watch yourself, what kind of story do you think you would be living right now? And what, are you a hero? Are you supporting role? And is that something you want? And how would you rewrite it, retell that story?